everybody, and welcome back to the Homestead. So today I am going to show you how you can make a chamomile and comfrey salve. So comfrey has a ton of benefits. One of the main benefits meaning that it can help to soothe pain and inflammation. So making a salve out of comfrey, you can put this on back pain, wound pain, things like that, and it can really help ease the pain. Say you have a pulled muscle or a pulled back. I personally pull muscles just from breathing, so I am going to make this salve and rub it all over my back because I have a lot of back pain right now. So for my salve, however, I'm not just doing a comfrey salve. I have also put chamomile in there. Now, chamomile has also been proven to be anti-inflammatory and also help to heal wounds, muscle pain, and bruises. So just keep in mind, I am not an herbalist, nor am I a doctor, so do your own research. But this is a salve that I am going to make for my family for these bumps and bruises and pulled muscles. So come along with me and I will show you exactly how I do that. So here's my jar. It has a lot of chamomile in there. I want to say a half a cup, and I also have comfrey. So what you're going to do when you have these plants fresh in your yard, or you can buy them dried already, but you need to have dried herbs in order for this to work. If you put fresh herbs in here in the oil, it's going to go rancid and go moldy, and then that's not going to work for you, unfortunately. So I used dried chamomile and some dried comfrey that I had picked from my yard last summer, and then I dried it in a window and I put it in oil. So you're just going to take your quart jar. You need about a cup of comfrey and half a cup of chamomile, and then you're going to fill your jar up with a carrier oil. I used olive oil, but you can use a mineral oil, grapeseed oil, almond oil, coconut oil, whatever works for you. Wouldn't necessarily say coconut oil unless you're using the one that's liquid all the time, because you don't want it to harden over your herbs, because then they won't infuse properly. So this way the oil infuses with all of your herbs. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to strain out all of my herbs so that my oil is just the infused oil, so that I can start making my salve with that. Okay, so you're gonna need a small mesh strainer. Unfortunately, I only have a big one. I really keep meaning to get a handhold one, but right now this is what I've got. And you can use a bowl or another jar. I'm going to stick this right over my jar. And then we're just going to strain out all the herbs and get the oil right in that jar. Alright, so you're going to want to weigh out your oil in ounces. So I'm just going to tear one of my jars. And for every 8 ounces of oil, I will need 1 ounce of beeswax. Okay, so that's 16 ounces. We're going to see if I can do 8 more here. Oh, just about. So I am at 23.35 ounces, so I'm going to call that 24, and we're going to use 3 ounces of beeswax. Okay, so I have these white beeswax pellets. I've had them for a long time, so I kind of want to use them up, but for our next salve. I also have a local big brick of local beeswax. But for now, I'm going to use these pellets. They'll melt really quickly. And I'm going to measure out 3 ounces of these. All right, so I'm measuring this into a bowl because I'm going to put this in a double boiler. So this is a heat-proof bowl. I'm putting it into a pot of water. I'm going to boil that water so that I can melt this beeswax down with my oil. So while my water is heating up, I'm just getting my jars ready. You can use tins, but I don't have any tins, so I'm just going to use these half-pint jars to put my salve in, and then I'm going to keep them in a cool, dark space. So this is my double boiler method for melting my beeswax and my oil in. So this pot is full of water, and I've got a heat-proof bowl sitting on top, and as the water heats up, my beeswax is going to melt. So I'm just going to get my oil in there so I can mix the two together. Okay. There we go. So as this heats up, the beeswax will melt in the oil, and once it's all combined, I'm going to be able to put it into my jars. So comfrey has been used for years and years, since medieval times, even for helping with cuts and burns and bruises to help with the healing. Even putting some powdered comfrey root directly on wounds to help the healing. Now, it should not be ingested, especially the root, because it can be poisonous. So definitely do your research before you work with comfrey or any herbs at all, just to make sure that they're safe. But as a topical cream, it seems to have been proven as safe. So using it as a salve can really speed up the process of healing when it comes to bumps and bruises and burns. And adding in the chamomile, which also has that anti-inflammatory effect, can also speed up the healing of any wounds and bumps and bruises that you might have. Okay, you can see that the beeswax is starting to melt and combine into the oil. So this, when it dries, will help it make it into a salve. Okay, so the beeswax looks fully integrated into my oil. So I'm going to go ahead and get this transferred into my jars. So there are my jars, and as they cool down, you can see on the edges they're already starting to solidify a bit, and they will turn into this beautiful salve that whenever you have a wound or a bruise, you can just put it on there and it will have a nice soothing effect that hopefully helps to take away the pain. I hope you all have found this helpful. If you want to stick around, I will be having another video coming out showing how to make a salve from plantain, another wonderful wound healing and skin helping herb. If you really enjoy seeing content like this, suburban homesteading, frugal living, and prepping on an urban scale, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and come back and check out my other videos. I will see you guys next time.